You often think of aging as an inevitable decline, a slow unraveling of memory, energy, and resilience. But what if that narrative is only partly true? What if the brain and body are far more capable of renewal than we've been led to believe? Here's what the research shows. Aging is not just a matter of time passing. It's a matter of choices compounding. From a neuroscience perspective, many of the systems that decline with age, like neuroplasticity, mitochondrial health, hormonal balance, and emotional regulation, can actually be strengthened even in our 50s, 60s, and beyond. The key lies in the daily behaviors that either signal the brain and body to thrive or to fade. One surprising study from Harvard found that adults who adopted just 5 consistent lifestyle habits like regular movement, nutrient-dense eating, and quality sleep lived over a decade longer on average than those who didn't. But longevity wasn't the most remarkable part. It was health span, how long they remained vibrant, mentally sharp, and independent, that made the difference. And that's where the science gets exciting. You see, the brain doesn't stop adapting after 50. In fact, under the right conditions, it rewires in powerful ways. Neural growth factors like BDNF, brain DNF, brain-directed neurotrophic factor, which support memory, mood, and cognitive agility, are still produced in later decades. Mitochondria, the energy engines of our cells, can regenerate. And psychological flexibility. Our ability to stay centered and resilient in the face of stress can increase with age if trained. That's what this video is about. Not denying aging, but decoding it. Understanding the 6 golden habits grounded in neuroscience and behavioral science that can radically shift your brain chemistry, cellular health, and even how you feel in your own skin after 50. You'll discover how simple rituals like timing your light exposure, reframing your internal self-talk, or tweaking the way you move can activate biological pathways that promote youthfulness, energy, and clarity. And you'll walk away with tools, clear science-backed behaviors to start integrating today. Because staying young isn't about chasing youth. It's about signaling your brain and body that the best years aren't behind you. They're still being built. Think about the last time you felt completely dialed in, mentally sharp, emotionally steady, physically energized. Chances are it wasn't just because you had a good night's sleep. It's likely because your circadian rhythm, your body's 24-hour internal clock, was actually aligned with the demands of your day. Here's what most people don't realize. Your circadian rhythm isn't just about sleep. It's a master control system orchestrating hormone release, gene expression, body temperature, and even immune function. When it's in sync, you feel younger, stronger, and clearer. When it's out of sync, which happens easily with late-night screens, skip meals, or erratic sleep, everything from metabolism to mood starts to fray. A pivotal 2017 paper published in Cell outlined how nearly every cell in the body contains a molecular clock. These clocks regulate thousands of genes, many of which are involved in inflammation control, energy metabolism, and cellular repair. All central to healthy aging. And here's the twist. These clocks take their cues not just from light, but also from food timing, exercise, and even temperature. So, how do we train these internal clocks to work for us, especially after 50? Let's start with light. Your brain's master clock, located in the suprachiasmatic nucleus, is set primarily by natural light exposure. Especially in the first 30 to 60 minutes after waking. When you step outside and get direct sunlight, photoreceptors in your eyes signal to your brain it's morning time to ramp up cortisol, suppress melatonin, and turn on alertness. Miss this signal and your sleep, focus, and hormone rhythms suffer all day. A simple tool to apply is this. Get 5 to 10 minutes of natural light within 30 minutes of waking, even on cloudy days. It sounds small, but this habit anchors your circadian rhythm more powerfully than any supplement. Now, let's talk food. Studies from the Salk Institute, including work by Dr. Sachin Panda, show that time-restricted feeding or eating all meals within an 8 to 10 hour window during daylight hours can reset circadian genes and improve metabolic health even without changing what you eat. This is because your liver, pancreas, and gut all run on circadian timers. Eating late at night when your system is winding down sends contradictory signals promoting fat storage, glucose spikes, and inflammation. The protocol here is straightforward. Start your eating window within 1 to 2 hours of waking and aim to finish your last meal 3 hours before bed. Movement also plays a role. A brisk walk in the morning, especially if done outside, acts as a Zeitgeber or time cue, reinforcing that it's daytime and metabolism should be active. The combination of movement and light works synergistically to activate wakefulness-promoting pathways in the brain stem and basal forebrain. Have you noticed how much harder it is to fall asleep after a day of artificial lighting, no movement, or late-night eating? That's not just fatigue. It's circadian misalignment, and it stacks over time, accelerating biological aging at the cellular level. But the upside is powerful. When you begin aligning light, food, and movement with your circadian rhythm, you're not just improving sleep. You're optimizing mitochondrial function, hormonal timing, and even emotional regulation. In essence, you're telling your brain and body, I'm living in harmony with time. And this is crucial after 50 because aging naturally shifts circadian signals, melatonin gets weaker, cortisol patterns blur, and sleep becomes more fragile. But by reinforcing strong external cues through these habits, you retrain your internal clock to stay sharp. So here's your challenge today. Step outside first thing in the morning, eat within a set window, and move your body early. These are small, repeatable acts that ripple into massive physiological shifts over weeks and months. Because youth isn't just about skin or joints, it's about rhythm. And rhythm, backed by neuroscience, is something you can reclaim. If there were a single prescription that could sharpen your memory, boost your mood, lower inflammation, and reverse signs of aging, it would be movement. But not just any movement. Not just long gym sessions or structured workouts. We're talking about frequent intentional movement sprinkled throughout your day, especially after prolonged sitting. And here's why. Your brain and body treat stillness like a threat. Let's look at the neuroscience. When you sit for long periods, especially more than 30 to 60 minutes, circulation slows, glucose regulation dips, and your brain receives less oxygenated blood. This reduces activity in regions like the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for focus, decision-making, and mood regulation. But here's the powerful part. Even 2 to 3 minutes of light movement like walking, stretching, or doing bodyweight squats can reverse that decline. A 2016 study published in Diabetia found that interrupting sitting with 5-minute walks every 30 minutes significantly improved insulin sensitivity and reduced post-meal blood sugar spikes in adults over 45. This matters because blood sugar instability isn't just about energy crashes. It's linked to accelerated aging, brain fog, and chronic inflammation. What's happening in your brain when you move is even more compelling. Movement, especially rhythmic aerobic motion like walking, stimulates the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor BDNF, often called miracle growth for the brain. BDNF supports the survival of neurons, encourages the growth of new synapses, and is directly tied to memory, mood, and cognitive flexibility. Another fascinating insight, the hippocampus, the region of the brain responsible for learning and memory, tends to shrink with age. But regular physical activity, even light activity, has been shown to increase hippocampal volume. This effect is so strong that a meta-analysis in a PNAS concluded aerobic exercise can literally reshape aging brains to resemble those of younger individuals. So what can you do? Here's a simple protocol. 9 minutes postprandial. Set a 30-minute timer during work or leisure hours. When it goes off, stand up and move for 2 to 5 minutes. Walk a hallway. Do heel raises. March in place. The key is consistency, not intensity. Another tool after meals, especially lunch and dinner, take a 10-minute walk. This is known as a postprandial. It lowers blood glucose, improves digestion, and signals to your nervous system that you're still active and metabolically engaged. Now, I get it. You might already be doing your morning walk or gym session. And that's great. But what the science shows is this. How often you interrupt your sitting may be even more important than how long you exercise in one block. Think of it this way. Your brain evolved in a body that was always in motion, gathering, hunting, craft, moving. When we sit for hours without interruption, we're sending an outdated signal. Conserve energy. Downregulate brain activity. Prepare for rest. That's the opposite of what you want in midlife and beyond. Here's something empowering. These micro bursts of movement are entirely within your control. They don't require a gym membership or extra time. They just require awareness and repetition. And the more often you move, the more your brain benefits. Studies show that movement increases dopamine, the neurotransmitter linked to motivation and drive, and reduces levels of pro-Amazonian cytokines, which are elevated in both aging and depression. If this insight is helping you, consider subscribing because everything we share here is about helping you move through life.